Hey, it's Splash. For context, I'm using Microsoft David's voice since my actual voice is suffering these days. Also, I have soft spot for this voice. The creator of Undertale, Toby Fox, uses this as well. If you're still okay with that, thanks for being here, and let's continue onward. I'm going to move on to pieces that are not baby or meta. I'm going to try a thing where I give out a max temperature range of when I'd wear things. I run really cold, so I can wear Velveteen in the summer very easily up through 76 Fahrenheit or 24.5 Celsius. I'd also note that I live in an area with generally low or no humidity, so hot temperatures aren't as bad as they are compared to humid basins. And I easily get cold hands under 72 Fahrenheit. I'll start with what I'm currently wearing here. The top is a black piece now top. I should have picked a different top because the main body of this cut so is Velveteen. The sleeves are chiffon and that's what I wanted to use here, but in the end I'm wearing Velveteen on top of Velveteen and it's a bit awkward. The JSK is Moi sleeveless non-op from 2003. I got this from a fellow old schooler. I snatched this up right away when she listed this, because this has pockets on both sides. It's such a good, simple Kuro Velveteen piece to have. I recorded this on a very moderate autumn day with temps peaking about 75 Fahrenheit or 24 Celsius. My other temperature ratings are going to be under the assumption that I have a full Kurd on, so a JSK will generally, though not always, have a blouse or outerwear to go with it, things like that. Continuing on, here's Alice and the Pirates, Royal Crown JSK from 2013. This is actually my favorite Alice and the Pirates JSK of all time perhaps. Because of the pockets, also, I love the crown motif, the red plaid bits, and the English printed on it. Print on Velveteen is very hard to find nowadays, and the English on this one is excellent. Marvelous flavor tea. HMB Alice and the Pirates. Established in 2004. Royal warrant holder. Haha. Anyway, this didn't come with a couple detachable bows and detachable ribbon sash belt, and that's fine with me. It also had some repair done to it. The original invisible zipper had broken, so the previous owner replaced it with a new zipper. Discord folks were making fun of it that they uninvisible the zipper lol, but I'm personally fine with it. My hair or other outerwear pieces are covering it up anyway. It was very worth it for getting it cheap, and again it's my favorite AATP JSK. I can easily wear this in a Kurd up to 76 Fahrenheit, 24.5 Celsius. Here is a recent Pishkin release. I got their Velvet OP in both black and red. What I love most about this is that it's lined in comfy cotton instead of icky shiny poly lining. And it has pockets on both sides. I went super back and forth about whether to get this release in size 1 or size 2, and I went with size 1 in the end. It is a bit tight on my waist, but it fits. In retrospect, I think I still should have gone for size 2 so that I would be more compelled to reach for this more often, out of comfort. As it stands, I would only reach for these for special shorter occasions and not for an all-day outing. I do have to admit, I'm getting their tartan release that is in the same cut, with the heart cut out on the front and everything, and I'm getting that in size 2, so I'll be able to compare the size difference then. I think I'll be increasingly more open to trading or selling the red colorway of this by then. They advertised this as velvet, but I think they should have really pushed the Velveteen emphasis. As a full OP, I can wear this up to 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. Next up is a piece I have pretty much no info on, it's just a random OP from a J-fashion brand called Meisho Apparel. I got it for relatively cheap for being in like new condition. I love the bright Velveteen and the red tartan combo. And the tie, I love it. So far, I've worn it as a base layer, but it's also very passable as a standalone piece. No shiny poly lining. There's not much info to see on the tag. 100% cotton. Since this isn't as roomy as some of my other pieces and thus doesn't ventilate as much, I'd wear this up to 72 Fahrenheit, 22 Celsius. Here is a full handmade set that was up on Mercury. It was apparently made by a professional costume maker. It does read a little cosplay-ish, but the construction is quite nice. The materials are legit good with the dark green velveteen. A lot of the parts are detachable, such as the capulette, which is super nice. The yoke collar, so you can have it more open without it. The sleeves are detachable too. Unfortunately, there's a flaw to consider with these sleeves, because they gape quite a bit. The gape isn't visible if you have the capulette on though. The lace is pretty much the exact same lace Meta uses on a lot of their older pieces. A cotton and rayon blend, I believe. I like this type of lace a lot since it washes easily. The seller marked this as a size L, Asian L, which checks out. It was comfy and cheap, for real velveteen. It's poly-lined, so I'd need to wear extra under it, which would put this at max 71F, 22C. Next up is my H. Naoto Frill Birdcage Velour JSK. I used to have a lot more H. Naoto when I was starting out collecting pieces, but this is one of the few I've kept. I really like the short length of it. The detachable train adds some length in the back. They called it velour, but it's using cotton velveteen. I really like the birdcage embroidery on it. The buttons are real, but it also has a side zip. I'd love more occasions to wear this out max 80F, 27C. There are plenty of aero ways to cord this if I wanted to. On the line of special occasions, here's another piece I'd like more occasions to wear as well. This is Moonrise Theatre's Velveteen Theatre Doll Up from 2019. I love that this is also cotton lined. The white part of the sleeves here are removable. I got the full set that included the velveteen bonnet second hand, in pretty much unused condition. I wonder if Moonrise Theatre will ever do another velveteen release like this. Velveteen has gotten really expensive post-pandemic, and so many brands have just dropped velveteen entirely as a result. 77F, 25C for this set. This is my one and only wirehead velveteen piece. This is the Velveteen Shirring Sundress JSK from 2023. The cape I got directly from them, and the JSK I got second hand. So happy to have this. It's gorgeous. It's wirehead. It's peak. I'm a fiend who gets cold easily and will wear velveteen in the summer, and this is one easy way to do that. Wirehead, I love you. 85F, 29.5C on this. Next up is my 1NA plus H velveteen piece. I ordered this in 2024. I used to have the 2009 Nagoya exclusive version that was similar to this, with a frillier choker piece, but that one was a tighter and less comfortable fit, so I sold it a while back. The choker on this one is different, but this is such a nice set that they still currently make to order, at least of the time of releasing this video. The construction is beautiful and it's unlined, so it's very comfortable, 100% cotton all the way. The frills at the ends are chiffon polyester, yes, but I can tolerate these. This is another piece I would literally wear in the summertime as long as it's not blazing hot. I give it around 76 Fahrenheit or 24.5 Celsius. Next is my absolute favorite black piece now piece. BPN piece. Velveteen corset JSK that I dated to be around 2006 based off the tag product number. It's super lightweight since it's unlined, and the skirt is very laced. It's 98% cotton, 2% polyurethane, which actually a lot of BPN velveteen is like that. The lace portion I believe is rayon. I should note that there is boning on the bodice. It's super nice and something I can wear even on hot days. Beautiful for summer, I'll never let this go. 85F, 29.5C like the wire headpiece. Believe it or not, this is Emily Temple Cute. This is Velveteen Rose Tool Op, which does have a low library entry. There's no release date on the entry, but the product number starts with 51, which would indicate either 2001 or 2011. The materials tag is paper matte style, which leads me to think this is 2001 since they switched to a different material for 2011. I just noticed here that I still have the dry cleaner tag on it from the previous owner. The fit is really flattering on me. It does unfortunately have shiny poly lining, so I do want to wear something underneath. A tank top might be enough at least, as I really love this piece so much otherwise. Almost perfect otherwise. I guess it would be even nicer if it had pockets like many other etc. pieces. Temperature peak 73F, 23C. Well, what does have pockets is this cornet piece. Estimated around 2005 to 2008 based off the yellow tag, though there just isn't much info about cornet in general, and that saddens me. This is an interesting piece that has had some work done on it, though I'm not sure the absolute full extent of the alterations. I know that it once had shiny poly lining, and a previous owner removed it entirely. Excellent, thumbs up. I'm running under an assumption that they also added pockets to this and that this piece didn't originally have pockets, since many of Cornet's pieces do not have pockets. Basically, I love all the things that were changed on this. It's peak. Fun piece to layer with. I give it peak 74F, 23.5C. Here's a Jane Marple Velveteen cloth collar OP, not sure of the date. Got it pretty cheap second hand. Love the collar on this, and I love the pockets. It's comfy and easy to wear. Like many of other Jane Marple pieces, it has Cupro lining. The Cupro lining is pretty close to shiny poly unfortunately, but it's just a hint more breathable to me. I'm so glad that a lot of Jane Marple pieces have pockets, but sometimes they still don't have pockets, so I always need confirmation. This one's also 74F, 23.5C for me. One last Velveteen piece to cover in this video. This is an ancient Jane Marple OP from 1993. Like its name, the Christmas OP, it's very excellent for Christmas. The elastics on this piece are absolutely, completely busted, not surprising from a piece that's over 30-year-old. Because of that, it looks silly if I wear it as is. So I layer it on top of other OPs, and it works out quite nicely that way. It adds a good layer of warmth in the winter. I'll skip a temperature rating on this since I basically wear it whenever it's cold season, which easily dips to peak 50F. So now we move on to my velour pieces. This is Putumayo Trump Garden Velveteen OP from 2015 in the navy gold colorway. Don't let the Velveteen in the name fool you, it's velour. But it's still good quality. I do have to layer a blouse under this since it's got shiny poly lining. The seller I got this from said it was pretty much brand new, but it's actually missing one of the waist tie buttons. I'll likely sew in a replacement at some point, but in the meantime I'm not bothering since I'm apt to not use the waist ties in the first place. I'm not completely sure for this piece specifically, since the waist ties do look quite nice on it. Honestly, I'd be interested in trading this for either of the other colorways available, which are black and silver or red and black. Doubt anyone out there would be up for that though. Who knows? I do have some ways to do navy, so I'm fine keeping this. I give it 74F, 23.5c. Next up is Axis Femme and their 2023 release of the classical velour dress OP. These sold out very quickly. I believe the full black colorway of the OP was already sold out by the time I ordered these, so that's why I settled for the blue-green colorway. Or it was also possible back then that I was just more intrigued by the particular shade of the blue-green. Anyway, I had splurged quite a bit back then and had also gotten the blue-green and black colorways of the JSK versions of this release, and I ended up selling both of those JSKs just a year later. So I've kept the OPs thus far. These are really comfy and very flattering. They look great as is, but it's also very easy to wear pieces underneath them and make them look even more elegant. Peak release from Axis Femme. They seem to do a new velour release every winter, and I would recommend checking them out if you want budget-friendly yet elegant option for velour pieces. I say budget, but I got these back when shipping from Japan was way more affordable. You can curse the orange man for making it way more difficult nowadays. Yeah. Anyway, Max 72F, 22C for me. Next are a couple pieces that I keep in their bags because they come with a bunch of beads and they can fall off bit by bit. These are from a brand on Taobao called Anjay de Chu. Rose doll velour dress in size L. It comes with a belted bonnet hat headpiece here that's really cute. I really appreciate the sizing offerings on Taobao brands. I probably would fit the M size fine for this, but I went with the L size to be future-proof for size changes and comfort, and overall glad I did. Sorry, I don't feel like taking them out of their bags, but they're nice pieces. I suppose I'm open to trading the red colorway as I haven't even corded with it yet, but I'm not sure what to even trade it for since there are just so many Taobao releases out there. This was also quite expensive for a Taobao brand. After fees and shipping and such, the set is around $160. It also runs quite cool and I can wear it without underlayers, so I put this at max 76 Fahrenheit or 24.5 Celsius. Props to Atelier Pierrot for their velour releases. This is Shadowy Soirée Dress OP from 2023. It has a really useful pocket. The fit is also very flexible and roomy. Please advertise your pockets even more. I'll wear something under this since it does have the shiny poly lining, but it's very comfy otherwise, and super flattering. This one's great in the winter time and I prefer to wear many layers with it, so I associate it with Max 66F, 19C. Highly recommend this series if you can confirm the pocket. This one's a huge outlier in my wardrobe. It's from Alice Awuwa. They're apparently known for super strict and small sizing on their pieces and are thus not very widespread, but this is a velour piece, so it stretches. And this wasn't ridiculously overpriced like many of their pieces tend to get. I tried to look up information on this specific piece, but it's so hard to find anything. I tentatively have it called Spangle Velvet OP number 3, and it has a lot of spangles. Look at these crazy long sleeves. Here's their tag that they so ceremoniously put in conspicuous spots. It's on the bottom of the back of the dress here. Like the Dobeo velour, I would put this at max 76 Fahrenheit or 24.5 Celsius. I have a similar long black velour dress that has somewhat of a similar silhouette, but it's a bit more classic, distinguished, less avant-garde. This is Victorian Maiden Velour Long OP from 2003. It's super flattering on me even as an extra short person, so I'm really happy with it. This is brutal of me to say, but there are likely funerals in the future I would wear this to. We're all getting there someday, folks. Again, max 76 Fahrenheit or 24.5 Celsius. On a happier end, I have Baby the Stars Shine Bright Velour OP with pom-poms from 2006. I'm really happy to have this in the black colorway. Such a lovely piece. I really like velour for being quite breathable despite being made out of synthetic fibers. As long as it's done right, it's one of the very few synthetic fibers I can tolerate directly on my skin. Last but definitely not least is this Rosangenrum Velvet OP Rose that I got as a special one-off directly from the maker's web store. They have participated in the Gothic Lolita Market, GLM, a few times, even the one that was in Ursa Major in the Bay Area K. That was super cool. Around this time beforehand, she had a different design with a similar silhouette that she had more orders available for, but I believe this is just a one of a kind. The other design had crosses and I try to avoid really obvious crosses whenever I can. This one didn't have that, so I went for it and really happy I did. It's such a lovely piece. It's kind of interesting on the tag, it says rayon and everything else is crossed off by hand. Maybe it's based off the Ma You Dream OP tag. Hee. She did list the velour she uses is rayon and it is indeed quite comfortable. Since this is short sleeve, I can layer it with other pieces or wear it as is as short sleeve. At short sleeve only, this runs pretty cool and I could go max 80F, 27C with this. So how was it? I'll be covering my tartans next, which will be a really long video, so that'll take me long to edit, but I'll get there. Thanks for watching. Please take care and be kind.